God damn it. Yeah, I recycled that intro from an older video that doesn't exist anymore. It's my channel, I can do what I want. All jokes aside, that was a really cool intro that I probably should have saved for this video, but I didn't, and I went to Walmart to buy the supplies to reshoot that intro, and they just didn't have anything that I needed. So, instead, you get the recycled one. Just pretend that I'm wearing like the same clothes during this unboxing as I was in that intro, okay? Okay. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your favorite mask collector's favorite mask collector, AJ Good, here at the new House of Masks. And guys, some videos are just never going to live up to what I want them to. Sometimes there are just items that are entering my collection that I feel like I will absolutely never ever be able to honor or give justice to in video unboxing form, and today is one of those days. It's just one of those days! I have been racking my brain for a couple of days now trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to say in this video, exactly how I wanted every piece of it to go, and I just don't think that I'm ever going to be there. Today's item is something that I've wanted since 2019, and it has literally been haunting me. Like, there has been a hole in my heart because I have not been able to get one of these into the collection. But due to some new recent developments, some new connections, I was able to get one, and I just could not be happier. So, I am ready to take this thing out of the box. I hope you guys are ready as well, because today's piece is extremely special to me. And obviously, as I pull this thing out of the package, I will explain everything that I can think to explain about it, and then we will show it off at the end of the video. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into the box, and we will see exactly what we have. All right, we got the thing cracked open. It is time to take it out of the package. I will show you guys first what's sitting on top there. We'll get rid of that. But as you can probably tell, what we've got here is a Batushka robe. And not just any Batushka robe. This is the real deal. This is a stage-used Batushka robe. And there are some little pieces inside of the box. We'll talk about those later because there are some extras inside. But man, oh man, I've got a real stage-used Batushka robe. I have been dreaming of this since I discovered the band in 2019, and I can't believe the day has come. This honestly feels kind of like a fever dream. Like, I don't even really feel like I'm unboxing it right now. I feel like my excitement is not translating to camera, because how do you sit down and knowingly unbox something that you've been waiting for so long, over 5 years, and it's here now finally, and I don't even know what to do about it. So I guess we will just go ahead and start separating everything, get this thing kind of laid out the way that it needs to be. There's still stuff just falling out of all of the folds, kind of like your mom. Let me make sure there's nothing else. Oh, there is. That's going to get launched out of this thing, and then I'll grab that other piece that fell out just a second ago. Okay, just a second. All right, it was nothing crazy, just a guitar pick. So I guess there's no real good way to kind of show off what we are working with here, but I do have a mannequin ready to go for this thing, so I will probably set it up on the mannequin and do a little more talking at the end of the video as we are showing that thing off, because right now you're just going to kind of see it in pieces. So I guess right now I will just explain to you guys how this even came to be. So it turns out that I actually got catfished a long time ago by some absolute weirdo creep pretending to be somebody that was in Batushka. And apparently the church does not like that I have this Orthodox monk robe in here, because things are falling over there and kind of freaking me out a little bit. Anyways, I was definitely catfished by this absolute weirdo who pretended to be my friend. Like, I knew who the guy was, and then he pretended to introduce me to a guy in Batushka, and he had actually introduced me to quite a few people in bands that I liked, so I thought that it was legit, but it turns out that that guy was just an absolute weirdo and pretending to be a member of the original Batushka and pretending that he was going to sell me one of these stage-used suits. So way back in 2019 when all that started, I just kind of hung on to the fact that I was going to be getting a stage-used suit. And the longer that it went, the more time passed, the more I thought that that dude was just an absolute weirdo. And I started to have my doubts about the guy from Batushka even being real. And then enter Luana from Crypta, who introduces me to a guy named Cuba. I don't know if he wants me to use his actual name in this video, so I'm just going to refer to him as Cuba. And Cuba is the actual guitarist for the modern day version of Batushka, now known as Patriarch, because yeah, you guys know what's going on with that. But this dude's just an absolute delight. He's super, super nice. We kind of exchanged some things back and forth on social media, and then one day he hit me up asking if I would be interested in making some masks for the band. Of course, I was super interested. We threw some ideas around there, and then I casually mentioned the fact that I had been after a stage-used Batushka robe for a very long time, and he said, well, you're in luck because I've got one to sell, and I will sell you this one right here. It's actually the one that you see in the photos with Crypta, so I think it's meant to be. And now we have the piece. So massive, massive shout out to him. He was an absolute pleasure to deal with. This deal was very, very easy. He made this extremely affordable for me, and I could not be more grateful for that. So let's go ahead and look at some of the extras that he threw in. It looks like we've got some big back patches here. We've got 2 of those. That will look great in the Batushka display that I plan to do with this. We've got, ooh, cool. We've got a VIP laminate from the North American Pilgrimage Tour, which is super, super rad. It looks like we've got a physical copy on CD of Hospadi. This was this iteration's version of Batushka's first release, and I gotta say, I was not crazy about this release. That was right in the middle of a bunch of drama going on between the 2 Batushkas, but I will say that, man, Batushka's latest releases, or Patriarch's latest releases, have been really, really good. Maybe the best music that they've ever released, and that's coming from a die-hard Liturgia fan. I just gotta say that Patriarch's releases as of late are incredible, which makes getting this version of this suit even more special. Next up, we've got some guitar picks here. They got the logo on the back there. This one is the exact same, and then this one is a darker pick, and I don't know if the camera's gonna focus. Hopefully it will. Whatever, I'll show the stuff off at the end there. So yeah, dude, threw in some picks. We've got a cassette right here. Very, very, very cool. All of these little trinkets will make for a very rad display to put around this suit. As I mentioned, I do have a full-size mannequin for this to go on, so we will essentially have a life-size Batushka display by the end of this video, and I am very, very excited for that. So yeah, dude, massive, massive shout out to Cuba. I hope that I'm saying that right, because I am a stupid American and I'm not used to pronouncing these other country names or whatever, but it is what it is. Appalachian, Southern Ohio, good old boy here. So yeah, dude, cut me some slack. But yeah, I am ready to show this thing off in full detail to you guys. So that is what we are going to do. I will get this on the mannequin, we'll take you guys off of the tripod, and you guys can see this thing in all of its glory, okay? Alright guys, so I've got this thing all situated on the mannequin, which really does a good job at showing the entire thing off. Obviously the mannequin isn't a perfect fit. Like, these things were tailor-made for the individuals wearing them, and this obviously is just a generic mannequin, but it definitely gets the job done. It looks really, really cool in this setting, especially in front of the stained glass window there. So I am pretty stoked with how this thing turned out. I might end up replacing some of the undergarments in the future. I want to get something that is a little truer to what they were actually wearing, but this will do for right now. Now, as for the suit itself, this particular copy I am extremely happy to own. I was worried that when I got offered this robe that it would be just like a secondary robe or a robe that wasn't worn for that many shows, but I will say that this thing has been worn for countless shows. back around 2023. And not only is it pretty heavily used, but it's also got some sentimental ties with the fact that I actually met this guy through Crypta. There is a pretty cool photo of him with Crypta, and I just think that that kind of ties in and makes it all the more special for this particular copy to be mine. Now, since I have acquired this robe, Batushka has gone through some changes. As I've mentioned, they have changed their name to Patriarch, and they have definitely gone to a much, much different style of robe, but I am super happy with the old ones. This is the Batushka that I fell in love with, and this is the style of monk robes that I fell in love with from Batushka. I'm really, really happy that I got an all black version. They do have some that have some colors in them, and this one is not one of them. So as far as the style and this particular copy goes, I could not be happier to have this thing. So yeah, dude, just wanted to quickly show this thing while it is on the mannequin and kind of talk a little bit about the robe in particular, because dude, again, I don't know how to express my joy or my happiness. I'm not very good at showing emotion, but if there was ever something that has haunted me and that has such a weird history with me trying to track down and obtain, it is definitely this robe right here. So I really, really could not be happier with this score. All right, guys, so there you have it. My real deal stage-used Batushka robe has landed. It is in its new forever home, the House of Masks, and I am as happy as can be. And I know what you're thinking. Third t-shirt change of the video. What the hell?
What the hell?
That one t-shirt was 40 t-shirts? Give me a break, dude. I wanted to try to do as much justice for this piece in this video as I possibly could, and even though I failed, I still tried. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say without sounding like a broken record. I could sit here and talk about this thing all day long, but I'm afraid that I would just end up saying the same thing over and over and over. So instead of doing that, I am just going to go ahead and end this video. I am going to end this video the same way that I end all of the unboxings and reviews on this channel. And that is, of course, with some nice up-close hero shots of this piece to let you guys see all of its glory, and that will be that. So before we go, I have to give a massive, massive thank you to Boruta, aka Cuba, aka whatever he wants to be called, because I'm probably saying those all wrong anyways, and I don't really want to give the guy's identity out if I don't know if that's okay. Nonetheless, thank you very, very much, my good sir. It was a crazy good transaction. I am happy with this thing, and I really, really appreciate all the extras, the guitar picks, the VIP laminate, the Rascal cassette. I truly, truly appreciate it, and I cannot wait to get this thing set up wherever it's going to go and start building a nice little Batushka / Patriarch section here in the House of Masks Sanctuary. That's just going to be really, really cool, and this is going to be the main piece. So you've really made a dream come true, and there's just no way that in the English language I could put the words together to tell you how thankful I am. And of course, before we go, I have to give one last big thank you to you guys, the viewers, the people watching this video, supporting the House of Masks however it is you choose to do so. I very much appreciate it. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this one, and until next time, this has been AJ Good here at the House of Masks telling you to say no to drugs and alcohol, and yes to Patriarch, and we will see you guys in the next one.